Hey, welcome back to Livin MN Outdoors. I'm Daniel and thanks for tuning in to this week's fishing report. Before we dive into this report, just want to let you guys know we are partnering up with Leech lithium batteries. If you guys are in the market to switch over to lithium batteries in your boat, Leech batteries has a ton of different options for cranking, electronics, trolling motors, whatever it is, they got them over there at Leech. We do have a promo code as well, Livin 10. I believe that's through the end of June, and then beyond that, Livin 8, and that will save you 10 or 8% off your total purchase over at Leech lithium batteries. But with that being said, let's dive into this week's fishing report. All right, we're going to start out on Leech Lake this week. The walleye bite has been a little bit tougher up there as of late. There's a mayfly hatch going on right now, and that means the night crawler bite is a little bit better than the leech bite, and the minnow bite is pretty much done for right now. Now, the best areas to find walleyes right now, main lake rocks in 12 to 22 foot of water. Those fish do seem to be a little bit tougher to get to bite than the other schools of walleyes, which are being found in 8 to 12 foot of water on the edges of milfoil and the other weeds. Now, the best presentations to catch these walleyes right now, a jig in a crawler is working, otherwise a slip bobber with half of a crawler or a medium leech is working for those as well. Now, if you're going to target some of those weed fish, them 8 to 12 foot on the edges of the weeds, some guys are having luck pulling spinners with an inline weight. Run a little bit of a lighter weight so you can let extra line out behind the boat because the fish do seem to be a little bit spooky. So just run out some extra line, get that spinner away from the boat, and you're going to have more success doing it that way. Now, as far as the bass bite goes, smallmouth bass, they're finding them in 8 to 14 foot of water on the big boulders and chunky rock. Throwing a drop shot or a Ned rig is working best for those. The largemouth bass, finding those up in the milfoil, the cabbage, the reeds, anywhere from 4 to 8 foot of water, and catching those on pretty much anything you can get in front of their face. Now, as far as the musky bite goes, anywhere from 5 to 10 foot of water on weeds and rocks. Throwing big crankbaits and bucktails is working best for those. And then a few guys still searching with the live scope out over those deep basins such as Paris Trench, and finding some of those suspended muskies out there and throwing some big glide baits and rubber baits for those suspended fish. Now, as far as the panfish bite goes, the bluegills, they're still up in the shallow weeds, that 4 to 9 foot of water, getting those on a slip bobber with a chunk of a crawler or a small leech. And then the crappies, especially in the early mornings and evenings, finding those on the deep weed edges adjacent to deep water. They're kind of settling into their summer patterns right now. They're coming into those weed edges really early in the morning and really late in the evening. Otherwise, they're out over that deep water throughout the day. Now, if you guys are looking to hire a guide up in the Leech Lake area, we're partnered up with Parker from Davis's Guide Service. He does still have quite a bit of availability in July. Some of the weekends might be getting a little hard to get, but midweek especially, he has some openings. We're going to get up there and hop in the boat with him here soon. But if you're looking to get up to the Leech Lake area, whether to catch walleye, bass, panfish, whatever it might be, go ahead and give Parker a call from Davis's Guide Service. Now, if you're looking for a place to stay up on Leech Lake, Acorn Hill Resort on Traders Bay, they have cabins, RV sites, seasonal sites, full bar and restaurant, rental boats, tons of activities for the kids and activities at the bar Thursday through Sunday for the adults, indoor swimming pool. Pretty much anything you need to make an awesome vacation for the family. So if you're looking to get up to Leech Lake, go ahead and call Kyle from Acorn Hill Resort. All right, now moving over to Lake Winnie. The bite on Winnie has gotten a little bit tougher. They're dealing with some mayfly hatches out there as well. It's kind of been a small hatch, but I suspect with this warmer weather coming this next weekend, there's going to be more and more of them coming. As far as the walleye bite goes, they're still finding a few walleye up in those shallow weeds, that 5 to 10 foot of water, pulling spinners with a chunk of a crawler or a medium leech is working. Otherwise, a lot of those walleyes have started to move out to the main lake humps. They're not up on top of the humps, they're kind of off the edge of the humps out there. Getting those with slip bobbers with a chunk of a crawler, a leech, or pulling bottom bouncers and a spinner, and picking up some nice walleyes out there off of those deeper humps. Now, as far as the perch bite goes, there are some really big schools of perch out in 28 to 32 foot of water on the main lake. My guess is they're out on the mud feeding on those mayflies. And I did get a report that over at Third River, they're getting some of those perch up in 7 to 9 foot of water on the weed edges as well, pulling spinners over there for those perch, and then out deeper they're throwing a slip bobber or getting some on bottom bouncers as well. Now, as far as the panfish bite goes, still getting bluegills and crappies. They're getting them on spinners with either a small minnow or a small leech or chunk of a crawler, and then throwing slip bobbers with a panfish leech or a chunk of a crawler is working as well. They're getting those in those shallower weeds, anywhere from 5 to 10 foot of water, either up in the weeds or just on the edge. Pulling spinners is working, and they're getting those both in Tamarack Bay and over in Cutfoot. Now, if you're looking to hire a guide in the Lake Winnie area, we're partnered up with Scott from zupsguideservice. He is the premier walleye guide up in that area. So if you're looking to get out and catch some walleyes on Winnie or the surrounding lakes up there, go ahead and call Scott from zupsguideservice. Now, if you're looking for a place to stay up on Lake Winnie, Chad at the Pines Resort, he does have cabins available this weekend. He does have his 5-bedroom cabin came available last minute for 4th of July weekend. So go ahead and give him a call if you're interested in getting up there for that. But he does have availability throughout the summer for that. RV sites, seasonal sites. He has full barn restaurant, pontoon rentals, fishing boats, live bait, basically anything you need, he's got it. So if you're looking to get up to the Lake Winnie area, go ahead and call Chad from the Pines Resort. All right, now moving down to Mille Lacs Lake. The walleye bite has been decent, I would say. They're catching a lot of those 11 to 16.5-inch walleyes. The lake is absolutely full of those right now. And some guys you talk to are picking up some keeper fish as well. Now, some of the better areas to target are still that 18 to 24 foot of water on the rock to mud transitions. 3 miles been decent, rock pile flat, and then later in the evenings or earlier in the morning, some of those shoreline points are still decent as well. You can slide in a little bit shallower and pick up some of them fish that way. Slip bobber and a leech seems to be king out there right now. Some guys are getting them on paddle tails in a jig, or setting up a drift is working as well with a chunk of a crawler and a leech. Now, as far as the perch bite goes, haven't really been hearing anybody absolutely smacking the perch out there. It seems like they're kind of coming onesies, twosies as people are fishing for walleyes. If I was going to target those perch, I would be on the edge of the rock to mud transitions, or on the edges of the mud flats. That's where I would suspect the majority of them perch are going to be out feeding on bugs, and then you're going to have to do your best to match the hatch with a small chunk of crawler, or a small panfish leech might get those fish to bite as well. Now, as far as the smallmouth bass bite goes, Most of the fish have pulled out of that super shallow water. I'm sure you can still find a few up in there, but that 18 to 16 foot of water kind of seems to be the sweet spot right now. There are some fish out in that 16 to 22 foot of water as well, but 8 to 16 foot does seem to be the sweet spot for those right now. Now, best ways to catch those, like usual guys, a Ned rig or a drop shot is working really well for those. Make long casts, work them slow, long pauses in between your twitches seems to be helping, and park way off of the structure you're fishing. Make long casts as to not spook those fish. Now, if you guys are looking to book a guide up in the Mille Lacs Lake area, we're partnered up with Joe from Keeper's Guide Service. Whether you want to fish walleyes or smallmouth bass on Mille Lacs, or you want to target some of those other local lakes, panfish, bass, walleye, whatever it might be, Joe can accommodate those trips. So if you're looking to get up to the Mille Lacs Lake area, go ahead and call Joe from Keeper's Guide Service. All right, well, that's going to do it for this week's fishing report. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. If you make it out fishing, take some pictures of your fish, send them to us over at our Gmail or on Facebook Messenger, and we will do our best to feature you in next week's fishing report. Remember, be kind at the boat ramp, don't crowd your neighbor, and most importantly, don't forget to get on out there and get living.